Jimmy Butler is requesting a trade from the Miami Heat after it came out that he possibly didn't want to trade, that they could sign him back. He has a player option this following this season for $50 million. They were saying that he could sign back for 2 years, 112. I think Jimmy like 34, 35 years old. Now it's out there that he preferred to leave Miami. Now, one thing about Jimmy Butler is he will wear out his welcome. I don't remember what happened in Chicago, but Minnesota, Philadelphia. He just seemed to be developing a mentality, a guy that's tough to deal with. He ain't been healthy in Miami. Last year he wasn't healthy, so honestly, I'm not sure what the trade market for him is. The trade market could be abundance with guys that may have question marks. Brandon Ingram got 1 year left. We hear the questions about Zion Williamson. So we hear questions about Zion and things that he has going on in his career. Zach LaVine is another guy. A few years left on a big contract. So CJ McCollum could be gone. So there's a number of guys that's going to be available at that trade deadline. DiVincenzo could be one. Heard he don't like coming off the bench in Minnesota. I'm not sure if they changed that. I know last time I was watching, because it was Christmas, they were blowing out the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if they came back or they laid down, whatever. But, check out the NBA Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And when trading for Jimmy Butler, what you're really looking at is probably want to be part of a team that has an opportunity to win a championship. Will the Knicks sit there and try to play with fire and add them to the Knicks? I know that they got the pieces to do so still, especially with Mitchell Robinson. Eventually, he should be getting healthy pretty soon. But I know him and Karl Anthony Towns kind of got a different type of relationship. The Denver Nuggets, they told Michael Porter Jr., he's another guy that's been out there trade deadline, that they could trade. They won't trade him. We already know the team's word is good as nothing. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they package something to get Michael Porter out of there. Maybe, I think they only can swap 2030 pick in 2030, something like that. I forget about the pick situation. I just read about it. When Minnesota consider bringing them back, they don't no longer have Karl Anthony Towns. I know him. Thibodeau not the coach no more. They can need a boost right now. I think they like what, anywhere from 10th to 7th in the West or something like that. Maybe. I don't think Cleveland is going to play with fire. I think they like what they got going. Obviously, Boston don't need the help. Obviously, Philly, they hands tied. What are they going to trade to bring Jimmy Butler back? That don't make no sense. Milwaukee, you would love to dump Chris Middleton. Oh, man. You would love to dump Chris Middleton and pick up a Jimmy Butler, but I don't think they got the firepower or the assets to make a Jimmy Butler to Milwaukee trade. So, yeah, I don't know why he got over in the turning lane. I be just wondering, sometimes people can drive the credentials. I ain't the greatest, but Jesus Christ. So, yeah, them all good questions. I don't really know. I know people don't scream the Lakers. I say contenders, not, Phoenix. I don't know what they got left other than Bradley Beal. So you kind of looking at teams that's probably going to be, vying. I think Sacramento it should be good with DeMar DeRozan. They could trade De'Aaron Fox too, because he said he want to be part of a contender. So maybe you ship him down there. So, but I don't see him joining a team like Detroit, Charlotte, teams like Chicago, them younger teams on the rise. I think he need to be in a situation where they on the cusp of winning the championship. Honestly, that's what I believe. Maybe Indiana, but do you want to give up young guys like Aaron Nesmith, and you want to give up guys like Benedict Mathurin for a guy that may not even want to stay in Indiana? You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not even want to stay there. I'm not sure if they can negotiate a deal with him. He may not want to stay there. So, that's a great question. He may not even want to stay there. So, but Jimmy's, often hurt. Then, he because he pick and choose when he want to play. But that's why I say contender, because you don't want a lot of young guys picking up that bad habit from Jimmy Butler. But then on top of that, him having bad, habits, he don't want to play until it's playoff time. So if you ain't gonna get the best Jimmy Butler until when it counts, if he healthy, then my whole thing is, if you ain't no contending team, I mean, what you looking at Jimmy Butler for? That's why you probably need to be a top tier contender. Like if he is out in the first round of the playoffs, guess what? We can get through the second round. We really need Jimmy probably second, third round, the championship round to get us over the hump. That's what we need him for, to get us over the hump. So, yeah. So that may make a ton of sense right there. That may make a ton of sense. So, yeah, you start talking about Denver. I don't know who on top of the West. Denver, whoever, Phoenix, Dallas, Cleveland, Boston, Milwaukee, them type of teams that's on the upswing, like that. Like, yeah, but other than that, man, probably not. You're probably good. You're probably good on that. So, just my humble opinion. But then you got the whole thing, wherever he go, do he want to stay there? That's the $1 million question. Wherever he go, do he want to stay there? Do he want to stay? So that's the $1 million question. So I think only teams that's contending for a championship. I think that's it. I could be forgetting a team or two in there. The teams that's contending for a championship. Not a Chris Paul, Wembyana, Spurs situation, the Pistons situation, the Charlotte situation. The teams that's on the upswing. Maybe another team up 75. Maybe you add them to the Orlando Magic. Paolo at the 4, Jimmy at the 2, Franz at the 3. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Orlando Magic might be a sneaky team for him. They're a young team that's looking to contend for a title right now. I think Orlando may be a good thing. They got to move far. Young team that they may not be championship contenders. They possibly could. I know Paolo still ain't came back off the hip injury, and Franz, good dude. He been holding it down. They got KCP. They got a bunch of young guards and young pieces over there. Probably a bunch of young draft picks. Guys like Anthony Black, Hoas Cole Anthony. They got a few guys over there that can sweeten the pot. Young guys like Caleb Houston who can shoot it a little bit. Got a lot of potential. So they got a lot of pieces. I think Jimmy might be worth, he might be worth the risk for the Orlando Magic. That's solid. Franz, Jimmy, KCP, if we can keep him, Paolo, that's solid right there. Defensively, Jalen Suggs been playing well defensively as well too over there. If we can keep him in them deals, you got, it's a good look. So it's my opinion. I think Orlando might be a really good spot for him. Got to go far. We're right up 75. I don't really know the roles that great before, but hit the link tree and find me on Patreon. Check that out, free for 7 days. Instagram, Facebook. Get in contact. If you need to get in contact with me there, find me on Spotify, Amazon Music, Kick, Twitch, the whole line. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the Real Talk playlist. Peace.